Hey, traveler. Paimon.
Oh, Paimon knows that voice!
Over here. To borrow one of the more popular turns of phrase at the moment, this appears to be quite the fated reunion.
You can say that again. What brings you to Poisson? Wait, Paimon's got it! You must be here for one of your magic shows, right?
Actually, we've run into a bit of trouble on the home front, so Father arranged for—
Oh, are Lynette and Fremine here?
Yep, along with most of the other members of the House of the Hearth.
So you're saying nearly the entire organization has moved to Poisson?
What?
Since the two of you are so curious, perhaps I can fill in the gaps.
You scared Paimon half to death!
Father, you're here.
You know... on second thought, maybe we don't need to know?
No need to be nervous. I could sense your genuine concern from your conversation just now. Of course, I can also understand your confusion. Sending so many Fatui here to Poisson, it's only natural that some might I understand. I'm well aware you've had your fair share of confrontations with the Fatui in the past, and I can't exactly guarantee that we'll remain on good terms. As for right now, however, I would say we have little reason to be at odds, wouldn't you agree? The House of the— As for the issue at hand, well, it hardly relates to any ulterior motive.
What sort of rumor?
A rumor that a certain phantom child is hiding away in the House of the Heart.
A phantom child? Ooh, just hearing the name is giving Paimon the creeps.
A spirit that should have long ceased to exist is lurking in the shadows of the House of the Hearth. So I decided to bring the children to Poisson before continuing to investigate the situation. I expect I should be able to track down the spirit fair. If you're curious, or if you still have some concerns, it might be advisable to stick around for a few days. I'm sure the children would be exceedingly— Lenny, I'll leave you to entertain our guests. I have some matters to attend to.
Of course, Father. It has long been a dream of mine to invite you to our home, and you're quite well known in the organization already. A lot of people have been talking about you, especially after everything with the— If you're willing, why don't you stay a while and have a little chat with us?
Alright. We don't have anything else to do right now anyway.
Of course. During our stay in Poisson, we've been helping out the locals with some fishing. We bring in— Let's go. I'll take you to where we're staying. We rented this house from one of the locals to use as a temporary base. I'll come back later and tidy up a bit. After that, it should be all ready for you to stay in.
Awesome! Thanks! So, where are we off to?
Well, when I happened to run into you two earlier, I was actually in the middle of distributing. With this many people staying in Poisson, we have to bring in outside supplies every now and then. I should probably make sure the rest of these provisions get delivered. Otherwise, people might start to get antsy.
Okay, we'll come with. There are all sorts of routes, but now that we finally have the chance to see a day in the life of the house, we can take a good look at how you operate.
Well, you're more than welcome to come along. Just follow me.
The show begins!
We're finally here. The supplies. I'm assuming you've...
Brought them with me? Yep. Hello?
It's the Traveler and Paimon!
No way! Come here, everyone! Hurry! The Traveler and Paimon are here!
One at a time, please. Don't crowd around them.
Oh, it's alright! Gotta say, Paimon didn't realize we were... Of course! Father and Linny have told us so much about you.
Father told us about how you helped Linny. According to her, you're a trustworthy friend. And as far as she's concerned, that's pretty much the highest...
I heard the Traveler is so strong that she can move a mountain with her bare hands. I heard Paimon eats so much that she can clean out the entire pantry at Hotel Tabor in just 3... Wait a second! That's the rumor you heard about Paimon? Oh, not cool at all! Oh, wait! When guests visit, you're supposed to give them gifts and... Oh, we don't need something like that. Besides, we don't have anything to... Come on! We insist! I can give you some of my new potions. Just pick your poison. And by that, huh? Or maybe Shaplo can teach you guys about stealth! He's super good at it! He's never been caught!
Ah, now that's not a bad idea. I know you usually prefer to fight head-on, but it never hurts to expand your bag of tricks, right? When it comes to eliminating... I was poisoned not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with the after effects. So I'm not quite as good as I was before.
Wait, when you said gifts, Paimon didn't think you... But those are the best things we can give you. You don't... Ooh, how about this? Tell me the name of someone who really annoys you, and...
All right, Fold, Selwar. I think that's enough suggestions for now. When it comes to being a good host, it's the thought that counts. You don't need a physical gift to make our guests happy. In fact, pestering them with suggestion after suggestion might make them more annoyed than anything.
Really? Awesome! It's been so long since we've had guests to play with. If there's anything you need... Yeah, especially if it's poison or something.
Well, we'll talk to you all later.
All right, see you later.
Bye! Linny, about all that poison and stealth tactics talk just...
Scared you, did it? That kind of talk comes with being part of the house. When Foltz was really young, he strangled all of his family pets. Just out of curiosity, Elwar has an unnatural obsession with potions. Father has forbidden her from trying all the different... Chaplo is around my age. While I'm mainly responsible for collecting intelligence, he handles... I know you two probably aren't used to that kind of talk, but I can promise you they only... Filial, supplies are here.
Thanks. And who are the...
Allow me to introduce you.
Oh, you're the famous duo. It's nice to meet you. I heard you've traveled to all sorts of...
Of course! We're making our way all across...
Oh, good for you.
You must be pretty familiar with Fontaine by now, then. Have you seen the new opera?
Oh, this is the first we've heard of it.
It seems like it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, and there's the Blind Maiden. After this mission is over, I think I'll go get a manicure.
Oh, maybe I should dye my hair.
Is it just Paimon, or do these two seem much easier to get along?
I heard that.
Oh!
I'm guessing you're referring to Foltz and the others.
I bet those crazies are practically foaming at the mouth right now. I'm sure...
That's enough, Filial.
Don't talk about family members behind their back, right?
Guess this is goodbye then. If you ever have some time, we should go see...
Well, that's it for the supplies. We should probably head back as...
Well, they didn't seem too happy with each other. Seems like they're... You're right. We're only here as guests after all. Oh, Linny's getting super far ahead. Come on, let's go. Don't look at me like this.
So, what do you think of the members you've met so far? Well, Father is always encouraging us to be strong-willed and independent. So, well, I should probably get cooking. Wanna join?
Of course!
Then let's head out and... Fremine? What are you doing?
Well...
Fremine! Nice to see you again!
You too. I heard you're...
We were just going to make some food. Why don't you come along? I could use some help in the kitchen.
Seafood soup?
Were you looking for something just now, Fremine?
It's nothing.
Yeah, we've got some left over.
Some food and water.
No problem. Give me a second here. Food, water... Wait a minute. What do you need all of those for? You're not on any missions as far...
I thought I'd grab an extra portion.
Fremine, you remember what I told you? You're not... Tell me what's going on.
Maybe...
This is the first time I've seen that kind of...
Yeah. Just a...
You're back! Oh, and you've brought some friends with you this time.
Hello, my name's Linny. I grew up in the House of the Hearth. And you...
Hi, Linny. I'm also a child of the house. You can call me Clairvy.
Clairvy?
It's nice to meet you. Does that name ring any bells, Linny?
No, not at all. That's not a name we have on our roster, I'm sure of it. What I'm not sure of, though, is how she managed to sneak in. She must be the phantom child Father's been searching for. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you were the one that found her, Fremine.
No, I haven't told anyone. I've just been keeping her hidden.
For how long?
About half a month now.
So ever since we got to Poisson, then. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Really? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find. If Father finds... You know the rules of the house, Fremine.
I've thought it through. And I just can't hand her over like that. Linny, don't you remember last year? Sheplo nearly died after getting poisoned during that one mission. He wasn't able to get back before the poison started taking effect, and not a single person was there to help him. That night, while I was sleeping, I heard a voice telling me to go save him. I opened my eyes, but I couldn't find the source. That feeling of being haunted, of hearing voices. It's happened many times in the House of the Hearth. I'm sure you've noticed.
So what you're saying is... that was her? She was the one who spoke to...
Unless there are other spirits roaming around the House of the Hearth. If Clairvy were our enemy, it wouldn't matter whether she was a spirit or an actual child. But she's been living with us, helping us from the shadows all this time. I couldn't just hand her over to be dealt with. Not when there's...
So what's your plan then? You can't keep her here forever. Someone is bound to find out eventually.
I haven't thought that far yet. I don't want to disobey an order from Father, But I also don't want to put Clairvy in danger.
Come with me. There are...
Those two sure care a lot about each other. Well, they got a funny way of showing it. From where Paimon was floating, it sure seemed... No way! They have a really deep bond. I just don't know how long that kind of bond can last. The darkness in the house runs deeper.
I'm sorry, Lenny. I really...
Oh, really? You didn't mean to? 'Cause I, for one, wish you did.
Huh? What...
You know, when we were younger, you didn't call me Linny. You called me brother. We grew up together, the three of us. We were all orphans, all rescued by father. Of all the siblings in the... Later on, when you started calling me Linny, I wasn't actually surprised. After all, Lynette and I are...
Lenny,
The darkest and most difficult moments of my life happened before you and I had ever met. I'm sure that's true. You and Lynette are the most important people in my life. No one can replace you.
Oh, looks like things are getting kinda heated between Linny and Fremine. Oh, it's raining. Hey you two! Hope we aren't... Oh, wait a minute, Fremine.
everything's fine.
Well, we're all friends here, right? We've been through so much together.
It's just a small family dispute. It's not something our guests should trouble themselves with.
What are you getting at, Traveler?
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any I just... Thank you.
Me too.
Well, back to the matter at hand then. If we don't plan on handing Clairvy over to Father, then our only other option is to solve the mystery of her. That means finding out where she came from and what she's doing here. Then we can send her on her...
I've tried that already.
And?
And... nothing. She even came with us all the way to Poisson. It seems like wherever the house is...
I don't know much about spirits.
Let's see here. Paimon remembers hearing something like, if you fulfill... Oh, it's just that Paimon doesn't really remember where she heard...
Well, sounds like it's worth a shot. Guess that means we should go ask her about...
What is it?
I need you to promise me that this will stay between the two of us. We're the mastermind.
Of course. I promise.
All right. Then let's seal the promise just like when we were kids. Fist bump on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I swear.
Whoa!
Lynette!
But what a surprise! What brings you here, dear sister? And, when exactly did you get here?
You're an idiot, brother. And you too, Fremine. You 3, Traveler. And you 4, Paimon.
Wait, what did we do?
I've seen Clairvy around the House of the Hearth before. I hadn't seen her in Poisson, so I figured she must not have come with us. I heard you talking about your plan. Rather than steering clear of the situation, I'd rather fully join... If you don't agree, I'll have no choice but to report everything back to Father. Simple as that.
You're not giving us much wiggle room here, Lynette. Well, I guess we're all in this together then. After we talk to Clairvy, we'll figure out our next... There's no time to lose.
full. Thank you for bringing me this food, you guys. She said she's full, but the food doesn't look like it's even been touched.
That's right. Based on what I've been able to observe, it doesn't seem like Clairvy can... Still, when she's presented with food, she'll always linger around it for a good little while.
Does she know that she has already passed away?
I've tried to ask her, but she didn't answer. My guess is that she's just...
Clairvy, if you've got some time, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure. Oh, another new friend.
Hello.
Clairvy, how did you join the House of the Hearth?
Huh? Isn't it the same forever? The knave brings you here and then you can't leave.
It's just that your name, it's not on the roster.
The roster? Oh, the people in charge. They're not as nice as they look. In this house, some people are family and...
Wait... Is there anyone that can vouch for you?
Perry. She's my best friend.
Have either of you heard of that name before?
No.
Me neither.
Clairvy... Perry... But... it seems like she's telling the truth. Either that... Maybe we should try a different...
A wish?
It can be anything you want. Just imagine. It's your birthday, you're blowing out the candles, and you're...
To go up where the sun can find me. That's it? Well, that sounds easy enough. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can...
Okay, time to divide and conquer. I'll try and find a way to use basic illusory magic to take Clairvy outside and bring... Lynette, try and find the list of executions that Clairvy was talking about. And Fremine, you stay in Poisson. We can't be the only ones who've had run-ins with Clairvy.
Understood.
I'll try my best.
What about us?
I really appreciate your willingness to help, but this is a family matter. Let me think. Since Father considers you to be guests, maybe you could stick by her...
Ah, Paimon gets it. You wanna...
I'll give you a magic bird. If Father suspects something, all you need to do is release it when she's not... Of course, that's only as a last resort. If Father doesn't seem to notice us, there's no need to make contact. If the worst case scenario happens and we're discovered, just tell Father everything. We're not going to let our... You too. Okay. I really hope this goes well. No, it has to go well.
It's the knave! And... child! Hey, aren't you supposed to be in Snezhnaya recuperating? What are you...
Oh, it's you two. I didn't expect to run into you here. I was unconscious for quite a while after the fight in the Primordial Sea. After I woke up, I couldn't have that now, could I? Not when I've still got unfinished business here in Fontaine. So, I mustered up all my strength and made the journey back on...
What sort of unfinished business are we talking here?
It has to do with Skirk, my master. I really wanted to meet up with her, but by the time I got back, she had already left. I still have so many questions for her. Without any other leads, I'll her down. She must have left behind some traces from her time in Fontaine.
Oh, okay, so have you found any clues?
Unfortunately, no. While the House of the Hearth is adept at collecting all manner of intelligence, certain existences.
Basically, unless Master feels there's a need to meet with me, she's not going to be found. But that problem has an easy fix. I just need to become stronger, and then...
Paimon thinks you should focus on getting better first.
The worst of it is over. It's all thanks to that one kid from the House of the Hearth. Elwar, I think her name was. She gave me a bunch of random potions to drink. They didn't go down easy, let me tell you. Pain and that's good, because it looks like I really do have to head back this time. The old man...
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's the one. I heard Regrador's involved too. I'm not looking forward to having to listen to all his... Helping Linny and the others brush up on their fighting skills would be far more interesting. If you...
And what a sweet little daydream that is. But besides, considering how little they see fit to step outside the homeland...
One I could do without...
Is it just Paimon? Or does it kind of seem like they're...
So, dear guests of the House of the Hearth, to what do I owe the visit?
Well, we just... right! We're super close to Linny and the others, but we still don't know much about you!
Is that so? Introductions have already been made, have they not?
Oh, well, you see? There's only so much you can learn.
Good question. I'd also like...
The fact that you have to ask tells me our intelligence work has been quite successful.
Spoken like a true diplomat. That was...
Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'll take my leave. I still have a small matter to resolve at home.
Wait, don't go!
I'd also like to hear the answer to this. I've met some of the members of your organization, and they all seemed like really good kids. They actually reminded me of Tonya and Tusser. Which, by the way, if you ever betray them, I'm just letting you know, I won't let you off easy.
And why would I betray them?
Well, you've already betrayed the House of the Hearth once, haven't you? At least, that's what I heard. Okay, I admit. That's just what the old man told me. The rooster, I mean.
Wait, did you really do something bad to those kids?
Never mind what I've done. I'm more curious as to what the mighty rooster had to say. Care to enlighten me?
Well, nothing much. Just some stuff about you taking out many other members.
I see.
Oh, based on your reaction, I'm guessing it's all a bunch of...
Hardly. I don't appreciate his particular turns of phrase. But I suppose he didn't say anything although it would be more accurate to say that there is a certain level of prejudice involved. But I don't... Call yourself a Fontainian, for example, and people will assume all sorts of things, when the real truth...
Huh? You're not actually from Fontaine? But then why did you try to help out with the...
I was trying to protect the children born in Fontaine. Claiming that I myself was a Fontainian simply made it easier to operate. People would hardly suspect a fellow Fontainian of having any ulterior motives. The primordial sea wouldn't have any effect on me, but it would have caused great harm to the House of the Hearth. Well, you wanted extra information, didn't you?
So, you stayed in Fontaine for the kids. I guess I was wrong to believe you'd betray them. Apologies.
Good. Like I said, I like it when others have misconceptions.
Actually, while I was recuperating at the House of the Hearth, I heard that members always resolve disputes and arguments with a friendly spar, and the loser has to back down. Seems pretty cool if you ask me. Would also give them
Well, that's only a recent development. In the past, such spars weren't nearly so friendly. The losing party would lose everything, including their life.
They were that high stakes? Whew, at least...
Well, the current atmosphere's not half bad. I'm a bit jealous, actually. You've got so many family members around you, and you even get to live with them.
Having a lot of family around means dealing with a considerable amount of bickering and scheming. Well, just imagine. Tusser becomes obsessed with plucking out strands from the rooster's mustache, or Tonya decides to dye her hair 42 different colors.
Okay. I get the picture. Well, would you look at the time? I should probably get going. Traveler, Paimon, I'm not sure where our paths will cross next, but the next time...
Again, maybe this is a conversation we can have when you look...
All right. Well, thanks for
No thanks necessary. You also played a part in obtaining the Gnosis. I would say we can call ourselves even.
I like the sound of that. Well, I'm off. See you all some other time.
We should probably get going too. Do you want to head back with us?
Oh? You want me to leave so soon?
Oh, well, you see,
I'm rather enjoying the evening breeze. If you don't mind, I think I'll stick around for a bit. I have some things to think about. Apologies for not attending to you like a proper host. Please forgive this slight. I do...
We managed to keep her distracted until now. Oh, I wonder if Lenny ran into any issues. Let's hurry back and see how everything went.
Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Clairvy can't go into the sunlight. Everything was fine at first. She followed me up to the surface just like I told her. But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... No, it wouldn't be her wish if that were the case. Well, we could always try pushing her. Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, the sun went down, so all I could do was bring her back here. How did it go with you, Lynn?
Good. I've got the list. It's right here.
Really? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's take a look! Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade, L'Endroit, Chambel, Horaire. yikes. That Aurora guy has a huge scar on his face. He's kinda giving Paimon the creeps.
Ah, I've met him before. The scar is from an injury he received during a mission. I still remember him joking with me about it. He said any future lover would take one look at him and then lose all interest.
Did he say anything else?
Well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. He said no, and that's where our conversation ended. It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but it didn't work. One day, Father asked to see him, and, well, I never saw him again after that.
Wait, so that means the knave, she...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules of betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. So... Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not too surprising. Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine...
Sorry. I was thinking about something. I managed to talk to quite a few people, but I couldn't help...
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past, times when people haven't gotten along. Chaplot and Filial are a good example of that.
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies. Paimon can see how they might not get along. They had very different...
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us, taught us how to fight. That's one thing we all share. As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the Fatui. And to a lot of people, that's an identity they never asked for. Certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. But considering the rules of the House, most people would never say that out loud. People like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui. Filial and...
These kinds of conflicts have always been there. It's not like Father is in the dark about any of this.
Well, that's true. But it just feels like things have gotten worse lately. Filial, I can't say for sure, but I think they've met Clairvy.
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if she said something to them about the darkness in the house and how deep. She's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children. People being used as pawns on the battlefield without so much as the strength to survive.
And they just believed all that? Without any evidence?
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for. What?
This is all because of Project Stuja, isn't it?
Whoa, hold on a second. What's this Project Stuja all about, huh? This is...
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the details either. I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrader have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui's strategic plan for the future. Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis, we now have the honor of playing a key role in Project Stuja.
Wait, but isn't that a good thing?
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. To us, the whole thing is an inconvenience. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan isn't exactly unreasonable, and they've been funneling the house a lot of funding. It's just that we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan, it's an honor in name.
super complicated top secret Fatui business aside, what does all of this—
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the power of fear either. People are afraid of dying, and that fear is often the impetus for a lot of stupid decisions. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to normal, but it looks like things are more complicated than I thought. If we leave Filiol and the others to their own devices, sooner or later—
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Even if we confront Filiol and the others, it won't do any good. It might even make matters worse. We should focus on— well, it's getting late. We should head back and get some rest. Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filiol and the others. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, Paimon was looking forward to an early night, but she can't sleep at all. Hey, you don't think she's even scary when she smiles? If she were to actually get angry? Ooh, you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Oh, well, in that case, we should just plan on running away. We'll grab Linny and the others and we can make a break for it as fast as we can. Look! Look over there! Quick, let's catch up with her before anyone sees. Over there! Oh, where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! Clairvy! Shh! I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh? All this hopeless resisting? Please, help us get on the same page here, Clairvy. Sure. Although, after you hear all this, everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. As long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value, and you're handed over to the doctor. You're saying the knave did all that? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do. She's scared. I knew you wouldn't believe me. Everyone thinks she's a good person. They all— Mother? But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it and tarnished it. If only Perry were here, she'd understand. Perry? There also— Paimon's getting us— It almost feels like she's not really— Well, in any case, she looks so young. It's getting— Ooh, look at the moon! Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? Perry and I promised each other that— But I can't find her. I'm worried she's also been— No, that wouldn't happen to her. I should really go talk to Mother. But we just fought. She doesn't want to see. What should I do? Paimon really doesn't... Well, let's head back. We've got an...
All right, looks like we're all here.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous.
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think we're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one. It had to do with some sort of
secret experiment? Could that be what Clairvy was talking about?
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself, but I do know it's an entirely independent operation. The details of the experiment are confidential, but complete records are kept on all participants. That, I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods, and I'm not asking you to. But...
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clairvy seems to think the Knave and the Doctor worked together to do something horrible. If that turned out to be true, Paimon doesn't know how he would even face you guys. It's just that it doesn't seem like Clairvy is lying either. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the Knave directly, but Paimon doesn't think she...
Father didn't come back last night. She's probably still near the shore. Lynette, you're with me. Fremine, you know what to do. Be on your guard, everyone. All right, let's get to it.
Ah, it's you two again. I must say. Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to... So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Although I must profess to being curious. Without child here...
Us? Distract you?
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
The ocean breeze is sure nice.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little... Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told. So I do hope you decide to tag along.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing, and Paimon doesn't think it'd be a stretch to say she was threatening us. Oh, good idea. Hopefully he's... Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happens if we don't show up. Based on what the... Okay, then we probably shouldn't keep her waiting. It seems like Linny...
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by good companions...
You're not planning on doing an...
I assume you're referring to Lynette, although there's that situation with filial... No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray that...
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint.
But don't you care about them at all? They really respect you. They even call you father. You must feel something never...
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along with them. I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will be able to keep their lives. As for Filial, Nantoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but once you know our secrets, there's no getting out alive.
But that's awful!
Ah, you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose I could turn a blind eye for a little longer. If Linny and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. And the punishment, of course. Oh, and here, I believe it takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this. It would be such a pity.
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. I asked you to meet me here because I have business at the Palais Mermonia. It has nothing to do with you, but I think it would be prudent. Well, time to go. It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette. I must say, I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so quickly.
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the proper level of respect. Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the occasion to... I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well. If I may inquire as to the purpose of your visit...
I'll be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, an outstanding matter that I would like to see resolved before... It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal. Please review it.
I understand your request. However, at the risk...
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting, Monsieur Neuvillette. So allow me to use water as an analogy. A family is like a large body of water with countless rivers flowing in, and as someone who watches over this system, I would hope that each river that flows from the source will eventually... Of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry up along the way. Not all rivers are destined to reach the ocean, but I would not see their existence rendered meaningless. I believe the water that flows within them is simply meant for a...
Did you get any of that, Trav?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few among us...
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry. I'll make sure it's drained of all impurity.
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect.
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my end, unless absolutely necessary. I will no longer...
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases similar to the...
Tartuffe. Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? My deepest condolences to his family, but without any evidence, I cannot Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures could be taken to reduce the frequency...
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case, I'm inclined to...
My thanks for your generosity, Monsieur Neuvillette. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from...
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your commitment.
All right, Traveler Paimon.
So, what exactly were you talking about back there? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers, a large body of water, and then some kind of irrigation scheme.
You really want to know? I would imagine there might...
Winnie, Paimon really hopes every... Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you, Traveler?
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these paper... Well, let me make it up to you at least.
Oh, you don't have to give us any...
Please, I want to. It's not like I'm short on supply. All the extras will be useless come tomorrow anyway. It's my fault, really. I was just trying to bring home some extra mora for the
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend here on accident. I should probably get going, actually, so...
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with mora, it's just...
I'll take 3 papers. Here. Your pay.
Oh! Thank you for your patronage. If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably...
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson.
Actually, Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the... That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite cute.
Wait, why are you being so
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for... The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive... Wonderful. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation.
Okay, sounds normal enough.
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, this place does have something to do with the story I'm about to tell you. It was before I became a Harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother. And this is where it all happened.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from the beginning. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this...
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Teyvat. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then... It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries on the other, they would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually happened to her? You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy longed for freedom, Peruere was convinced that, amid all the fighting and violence, she would make it until the end. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times, even with her body racked with pain. She would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out.
Oh no. What happened?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the very person sitting on top of this throne of lies? Mother Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as her mother. If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained. Precisely. Death was the only way that she felt she could. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But ultimately, from that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, it was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised, but she was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take a guess as to what it was?
Crucibina, you mean? But...
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rules. Peruere won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along. You're Peruere. Arlecchino...
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back memories. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. And that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed. So the Clairvy we met...
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's, of course, the chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to her.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long...
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable, but other times she would hide from me and become obsessed with revealing. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight, they failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't...
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for... I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules. No...
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger and sorrow. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved children to bring our troublemakers here by nightfall. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I give your friends quite a bit more time. As for what happens now, we'll just have to wait and see.
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would— Lenny!
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her—
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh, stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments.
By traitors? Do you mean us?
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to—
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret midnight meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one. Sato added, I'm sick of this life. Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of—
I did not! You're lying! Fultz is
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy in a we're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy—
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed?
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our family.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case.
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type— A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to—
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second.
Filial, Nantoy, I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy. If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness. Even if—
Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake. And we should own up to it. I'm sorry, Sheplo. Fultz, we...
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth.
All those who betray the house.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did, does it really count as betrayal? We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, we wanted nothing more than to make it a real home. But the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and— So please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you...
I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your determination,
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the House will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength.
Wait.
Impossible. Father is— Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people heroes are really gonna be executed.
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Oh, looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the house.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal after. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less. Is it my turn now?
Everything.
With these rising flames!
Animal test 60. Hey! Sharing my knowledge.
Closer now.
Now's our chance!
Now that's more like it.
Illusion Everyone hold it. Swirl. Mark 2.
You alright? With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory.
Let the world collide! Hey!
Look out! Power moves. Erase all threats. There is no escape.
Animal hyperstick.
Closer now.
I see everything.
Is it my turn now?
Now's our chance!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Hey! Absorption test.
Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all. Torn to oblivion!
Over here.
Illusion! My blade is all that remains.
Enhanced animal module 75. Stand clear. Animal, don't push the Temple of Wisdom. Everyone hold hands.
There is no escape. Ha! Now you shall perish. Flames. Fleeting joy.
I should. I see everything.
Now's our chance!
Over here.
Your punishment made manifest.
Everyone hold hands.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack?
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get...
Brother, are you alright?
Lenny.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the punishment...
No!
I never thought things would end like...
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping.
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for.
Wonderful. Then...
Bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special circumstances, once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically if you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed.
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you.
Even so... Even so... I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver.
Of course. I'll...
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Fultz, Elwar, Take them back to Poisson. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. Goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will thank you for all you've done for the house.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Lenny.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? You really are Perry, aren't you? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident?
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little! Oh. Huh? That's it? You accept? Yep. If that's what Perry says happened. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. Can you tell me about it?
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother. Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be... But you called on everyone to unite. To fight to a draw in order to... You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now...
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really... But somehow, I still think I understand. Look, if I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice.
Is that so? But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, it's something I discussed with the Eudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves.
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of... You know, Perry? I think you're a pretty amazing king. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really? Of course! We've traveled all over the place. We've got so many stories. Those yokai you mentioned, what do they look like? I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a super scary... Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep, You know, I used to dream playing the lute while singing into the winds of freedom. The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were accused of committing a crime. Oh no, that must have... Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around super quickly. All thanks to Detective Paimon, of course. How'd you do that? Come on, tell me. Okay, so it was like this. After...
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new... Clairvy, You've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallel. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the pictures. But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to sit. Whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it out.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered.
And you? What?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. But Lynette and Fremine feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the hotel booth.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king, I must admit. I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life.
I just never understood what you saw in me.
You're brave, talented, and, most importantly, you would do anything to protect them. Even if...
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks to you.
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero? Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. She must have had... I'm not deserving of that title.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is conviction, and we may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but you can hardly be said to lack conviction. Even without that strength, you still chose to face me in a duel, even though the odds were stacked against you. That...
Father...
No one knows what the future holds, what tragedy or triumph may be in store. Being at the head of this if reaching a certain standard were required to go after what you want, I would never have succeeded in killing my predecessor. Strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions.
I understand, Father.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. Only then can the road ahead is not an easy one. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you...
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Protecting my family at all costs.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, you need not be too concerned. Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, A crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain. As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, I'll remember the camaraderie we shared in this moment. No matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired
Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief.
What about you? Are you...
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well... Oh, and Linny and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about...
Wait, what? You've met...
Crusabina died a year after Clairvy. Crusabina had an extremely cruel... When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already... A couple of months after I joined, Father killed
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything.
It really seemed the last time you talked to her, did she mention...
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. The foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. And that's what Father told us in the end.
But I still thanked her for everything. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we may have arguments or times when we feel wrong.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow. So I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it through this crisis.
Oh, we didn't do anything real.
Of course.
Are Filio and...
I actually saw them at a cafe. They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they seemed happy.